Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Fruitful Fridays. I hope you're feeling good today. I know I am. And if you're not, well, you've come to the right place because you are going to get a boost. So stay tuned. I got lots to share. And today we're going to talk about being fruitful, and we're going to talk about self-care for a successful mind power. And as you all know, wow, the mind is so powerful. And I don't think we can ever use it to its full potential, but oh my gosh, to accomplish things and be successful using more of your mind and having self-care for it, we take care of so many other things. And when we can take care of our mind, it will produce phenomenal things for you. And that's what I can tell you. I'm sure a lot of you know that, but to be mindful of these things are great. So anyway, let's start with being fruitful because that's what it's all about. We do this to be fruitful, and I work with my clients to be fruitful and to get what they want. And so this mind stuff is so important. It's kind of the missing link, I think, between what I was doing before in the wellness field, and this was the piece that was kind of missing, along with everything else, finding harmony. Anyway, how are you fruitful this week? How did it go for you? What did you accomplish? Let's just take a moment to think about that and what you did. How did you feel really good about yourself? I'm sure there were many things that you accomplished, and so often we just don't think about them. So this is the time, everybody, this morning, if you listen to this once a week, at least you can come to this, put it down on paper. I'd love to see in the comments what you've done, and just give attention and appreciation for it, because when we're grateful, we're going to get more grateful back. And so be as grateful as you can, and that's going to set your mind off too in a great start. So now that you're feeling really good, let's get into what we're going to talk about. Well, and that's going to be self-care for a successful mind, for successful mind power. For those who don't know me, I'm Karen Treaster. My company's Never Settle Life Coaching. And so I work with people, I work with clients to a lot of times for a career change, and you definitely need this, mind power, and also with divorced women. And I love that because I went through divorce myself with very low self-esteem, very low confidence, and a lot of this stuff that I'm doing has given me the strength to just go out there and do what I want to do. And this is what I want to instill and how I work with others, to get that thing that you've been wanting to do accomplished. And I'm all about being a cheerleader and giving support, because I know when I got divorced, I didn't get much support. And so I do give a lot of support, not only to divorced women, but also to my clients, and really boost them. I'm all about that. So let's get started. And let's see, where do we even begin with mind work? Because and self-care. Like I said, it's so important. I think a lot of times we take for granted our minds, right? We kind of, it's there, and we just kind of always think that it's going to produce for us. But I know I was in healthcare for a little while, and I worked with an agency who had caregivers I was the liaison who actually got the business with the clients. And so I was the liaison between the agency and the clients and the caregivers. And what I found was just really, really shocking to me how many people had dementia in my clients and elderly people, and Alzheimer's, and what this was doing to their lives, and how it was affecting everyone. And that got me really curious about the mind and what I could do for it. And this is where the self-care practices come in. And so I did do a lot of research. Morning, Giselle, nice to have you here. And so what I found was a lot of things that you could do for self-care are things you may be aware of, like for stimulating your brain. And it could be puzzles, it could be just learning in general, and always trying to expand your mind. And good morning, and it is a good morning. And reading and writing, these things are going to really be such good self-care to keep your mind going. I'm not saying it's going to alleviate what may happen in the future with your memory and all, but it's certainly going to help, and it's been proven that it does. And good conversation and exercise helps. We're going to talk about more next week. And dancing and conversation, all great self-care practices. Good nutrition and good food. And so being mindful of the foods that you're eating, let's say, I know a lot of you are aware of omega-3s, and that you can get in fatty fish like a salmon or a mackerel. You can get it in walnuts and flax seeds and soybeans, things like that. And then another great self-care practice is going to be rest and sleep. And these are really key. Finding peace. I'm all about finding peace. I'm about finding harmony in your life. And this is actually the part one of a 4-part series, which I talk about incorporating all key areas of your life. So finding that peace, and when you do the self-care in all these areas, you're going to find it. And you're going to go through your day so much easier and be so much more productive and fruitful. And again, that's what it's all about. So I went on to study the mind a little bit more. I'm an NLP practitioner, which is neuro-linguistic programming. And it's absolutely fascinating. And because your mind, that's where you make your decisions. That's where you get your follow through from. It's your mind, how you're talking to yourself, how you handle things, and your reactions to people and everything, and how you keep that peace about you. So with all these self-care practices, what I found is the biggest self-care practice of all is that made the biggest impact on me and absolutely changed my world was mindfulness control. And it just is something that, let me share a few things that it actually did for me. When I started doing this, one of my biggest obstacles was anxiety. Anybody have anxiety? It was literally, stopping me from going to a lot of places, like a networking thing out with friends. Sometimes I would be in a parking lot and just sit, and I wouldn't go in the store. Like, it was bad. And you know what? It's a physical feeling, a lot of you know, right in my stomach. And that's what stops you. So finding this peace, what it did is now I am a certified public speaker, and I use my speaking to advance my business. So that's pretty huge. And another thing is overcoming doubting myself. And I don't know about you, but I used to always sit there and analyze when I said something, and I didn't know, and then I would start beating myself up for what I said, or what I was thinking about, what I was going to do, or whatever. And now I have the trust. I trust myself, so I just go with my first instinct. And this is what the mindfulness, self-care has done for me. And one more thing is that I didn't believe in myself. Coming out of my divorce, it was really worse. All these things were enhanced, and that's why I love working with divorced women too, because a lot of people have these things. Again, if you don't have that control over your mind, they're going to pop in your head. They just do that. And so I love helping divorced women overcome that. And I didn't think I was enough. I didn't think I was enough. And you know what? When I uncovered the truth, which I am enough, and my authentic self, and what I have to offer, because we all have so much to offer, you just got to believe it. And you already have it. You already have it. Don't go searching for it. It's already there. So this just really released a lot of stress, and brought me peace. And speaking of peace, I don't know if anybody's heard of Gregg Braden. He's a well-known author. He is a consciousness leader. And he did research on people who live to be old, like 120 years old. He found families, and he found also, he saw it with Tibetan monks. These people were living that long. Can you imagine? And they were physically well and strong. Now, you know what happens when your body breaks down. So how do people live this long? And so he did research on it. And you know what, people came back with things that they ate and blah, blah, blah. Somebody said olive oil. And you know what, people have their things. Taking care of yourself, absolutely. But the one common thread was peace. Peace within yourself, and having love. And this is what gives you that strength, that quiet strength to succeed in anything that you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with my 3 tips for you. Stay tuned. I actually have a bonus. We're going to do a hands-on exercise. So here's my first suggestion for self-care, for a powerful mindset. And it's called Jumpstart Your Brain. And it's feeding your brain with positivity. And this is the first thing in the morning. I do it every morning. And I feel so good. It doesn't matter because when I wake up, let's face it, I don't wake up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Do you? I know I don't. And you know, that stuff starts coming in your head, that negative stuff, and it starts kind of taking over and just multiplies and multiplies. So when you nip it in the bud, first thing, so I wake up in the morning and I thank God I had a good night's sleep, or the universe or source or whoever, higher power. Thank you, universe. Thank you for if you didn't get a good night's sleep, thank you for the bed I'm sleeping in. Thank you for this room that I'm living in. Just start thanking for anything that you can think of. And then what I do, second thing, is that I grab a pad. I've got it right next to me on my nightstand. I will write down 3 things I'm grateful for. And there was a Harvard study, I know a lot of you are aware of this, or some of you are, that if you write down 3 things in 21 days, you will see increased optimism, increased willpower, increased productivity, and increased employee morale. So those are pretty compelling reasons to start being grateful right off the get-go. Now, I've got a client that I worked with, and she writes it on a whiteboard. So you can do that too. So then what I do is, now my mind is in that grateful mode. Anyway, I could just continue with reading more or writing down more things that are grateful. Personally, I love my coffee. So I'm going to admit, I get up, I'm feeling good. I get up, I get my glass of water, always, big glass of water, make my coffee. Now, while that coffee is brewing, I am going to write down either more things that I'm grateful for, maybe listen to something that is positive. It could be even a favorite song, something to raise your vibration, elevate your feeling, to feel good. That's what it's all about. You know what? That's our number one job. I really believe that, because how you show up is so important, and how you show up for yourself, and how to be more productive, and how to, accomplish what you want to do, and how to find joy. So it doesn't take long. So you've only spent a couple minutes, right? Thinking about being grateful already. So now, as that's being brewed, my coffee, you're listening to something. Oh, and the news, no, that doesn't count. Stay away from the news when you're trying to feel good, because that will just, that'll bring it down. And you know what I'm talking about. And stay away from Facebook too. Stay away from Facebook, stay away from anything like that. So if that's too, if you can't do that, well, when you're getting on your phone, then I would just, maybe you have recorded something, or look at, write down some affirmations, write down some more stuff, just read something positive. Maybe you have something written down. And then when I have my coffee, I'm going to go back, I'm going to read a little bit more. And people ask, well, how long do I have to do this? So let me ask you, the question is, how long does it take you to feel really good? How long does it take you to fill up? And when you feel really good, that's when, and you'll know that feeling, and that's when I'll just close my eyes for a minute and try to visualize. Either, if you're working on a goal, I visualize what my goal is, the big picture, or I'll visualize what my day, say, you know what, you've got an appointment and you want it to go really well. Well, just visualize that all happening. And when you see it in your mind's eye, that's something that you can focus on during the day, that end result. So this could be a matter of however long it takes you. It's about filling up and filling your battery, filling up your, charging your battery. And if, going out with a fully charged battery, you're going to have a really successful day. You know what it's like when you feel really good. So much, so many things come to you. And if you're only half charged, well, you're going to have a half charged day. So just do it until, you feel really good. And then the only other thing is, so this could be 5 minutes, this could be 10 minutes, 15. I'll sometimes do it for an hour. It's up to you. Sometimes I don't have time for that. Sometimes I only have a couple of minutes. Do a part of this every day. And I promise you, this self-care will go a long, long way. And then at night, what I'll do is I'll repeat this. What I've written down, the grateful stuff, I will say it again at night, and that puts you into that grateful mode. It's for me, it really helps me sleep. It helped me get better quality of sleep because you get your focus off, because at night, that's when we all start thinking all that negative stuff and how bad you are and beat yourself up and everything comes in. So keep focusing on that what you're grateful for. Okay, so the second tip I have, that is to declutter and refresh. Because let's face it, you go through the day and you can start feeling bad, right? Like maybe a phone call goes wrong, maybe something at work, your boss says something to you that you don't like, or something at home, maybe a project isn't going well, or something at home isn't going well. Things happen. And then you let that negativity seep in. And it happens to all of us. So there are many things you can do. You can do some breathing exercises to kind of focus on that. And as you're breathing, focus on your breath and come back into the moment. Some people if you have time, you can take a nap. Some people kind of just, want to just rest. You can take a nature walk, something that can get your mind off what you're thinking about. What I'm going to recommend is meditation. And I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, that's too hard and I'm not going to be able to do that. And well, I want to let you know there are ways, and actually that's my bonus. I'm going to do like a 2 to 3 minute meditation so you can just kind of clear yourself this morning. So I'm going to do that in a minute. Stay tuned. And it really helps. There's so many things that it benefits from meditation, and I'm going to go over a couple of those first. And you can find something on the internet that is a guided meditation. I do 12-minute meditations, and this is during the day that I'll do this. You know what? Even if you can just close your eyes, like we're going to do in a minute, it's going to help you to recenter and refresh. And it's amazing what it will do. And maybe you have to do this throughout the day, whatever it takes. Because in order to be successful and accomplish what you want to, having this mindfulness success is really important. And so let me go over some of the benefits. And because, like I said, you don't have to do it that long. Some of the benefits are, it puts you into REM sleep. So let's say you didn't sleep that well last night. Instead of taking the nap, which naps are great, but I don't have time for naps. And so I like to do the meditation, and it puts you into that sleep that you will get at night. So, and these are proven results. And it also helps with your mood. So any kind of depression or any kind of irritability, it's going to be really good to get you out of that. It's going to help with anxiety. And this was huge for me. So if you are suffering from anxiety, this is something I can really, really help you with. To show you how to overcome that anxiety. And it also helped with my digestive system. I mean, amazing. And I tried a lot of things. Meditation, it's huge for that. And it also decreases inflammation and pain. So when I first started meditation, I noticed that I have a back injury, a lumbar back, lower back injury. And so when I don't exercise, it really bothers me. And or if I've been sitting a long time, and when I meditate, oh my gosh, that pain gone. And also, I don't get headaches very much, but I've noticed that when I get a headache, that it would help with that as well. So it's also going to boost your focus. And right, I mean, how huge is that? And it's going to boost your productivity, and it's going to boost your melatonin levels, which are better for quality of sleeping. So that is, those are the things that it's just amazing. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to do a little meditation. So if you're driving, I am going to ask you to close your eyes in a minute, but please don't. So if you're at home or wherever you are, we're going to go ahead and get started with that. So just find a comfortable place to sit, and if you can, put your feet flat on the ground, and you can put your palms up on your lap or by your side, and just start breathing. And focus on your breath. Focus on the breath going all the way in through your body, and just cleansing it as it comes in and gets rid of negativity when you breathe out. So just keep thinking about that breath, and go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to be reading this, so go ahead and close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, ask yourself, how can I declutter and clear my brain? What can I do? Where would I love to be to really get clear right now? Maybe you're imagining you're on a crystal clear lake somewhere, and the water is like glass, so peaceful. And maybe you're on a mountaintop somewhere, looking out at the world and feeling light as air itself. Or maybe you're on the gorgeous aqua-colored ocean side with white sand dancing between your toes. Maybe you're in the green forest or on a lush nature path, looking at butterflies and hearing the sounds of birds singing everywhere. Or in a wide open field with beautiful blooming flowers. Or in your own amazing sanctuary somewhere. And all you can see is a wide open vastness of space and time that seem to go on forever and ever. And in this space, lies all the answers you've been looking for. And suddenly, new suggestions and new ideas are popping in your head and are just coming to you so effortlessly. And your mind is crystal clear right now. and you're feeling incredible strength and power and ready for anything life has to offer you today. You are excited and loving your day and feeling refreshed and renewed with amazing clarity and precision focus. Today is your day, and you are going to kill it. So take a deep breath, and when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that this relaxed you and that you're just feeling really good about the day. I want to talk about one more tip before we go, and that is to release with journaling. And whatever you were just thinking about, a great way to release, you can release good thoughts from what you just, maybe something came up for you, a new possibility, or just how you felt. Maybe you just felt relaxed. You can go ahead and write that down, because sometimes when you write it down, other things will come to you. And also, you can release with journaling with negative things as well. So if you have a rift with somebody during the day, or just that negativity starts coming and you start feeling these strong negative emotions, you can write those down too. So if you just journal, and if you don't really have the time to get quiet, you can really release so much with this. Just writing it out, it's very cathartic, and just by putting it on paper, it's absolutely amazing what it can do, just purging and cleansing your brain, and just that, having that psychological release. It's going to bring more things good to you, and clarity to you by doing that. And you can also, of course, write down during the day. Let's say that negativity comes in. Start writing down what you're grateful for, more things that you're grateful for. And I also use the journaling in the morning too. And if you haven't written out your goals, this is something that you can do. And it's because when you put intention, when you put the focus, it's this mindfulness control every single day, it really produces for you. It really helps you to be fruitful. And a lot of times it's just a shortcut for getting exactly what you want. And many people skip this. I realize this, but it's so much easier. Your day will go easier. Everything that you do is going to come to you with more clarity when this is done. And you feel phenomenal, right? I hope you feel fantastic today, because you're worth it. And it's worth it to show up with happiness, with joy, and just fully charged. And just, do these simple self-care practices every day, and feeding yourself, jump-starting your brain, feeding yourself with positivity, decluttering and refreshing, and to what's the third one? What we just did, to release with journaling. And I promise you, you are going to see very powerful results. I'm all about never settling. That's my company, Never Settle Life Coaching. And I'm here to help you, support you, anything that I can do to get you in that phenomenal mood to accomplish what you want. And if you want to find out more about me, you can go to my website. You can check me out. It's neversettlelifecoaching.com. And I love the hearts. Thank you so much for joining. You know what? If you're listening on the replay, give me some hearts, give me some likes. This is what keeps me going. This is what, I'm going to keep coming on when I see this. So I hope you guys all have an amazing, phenomenal day today, fabulous Friday, fabulous weekend, and a very, very fruitful week coming up. So take care, everybody. All right, bye-bye. Never settle and live a life you love. Bye-bye.